You will also get your photo opportunity, and then you exit on that side from the stairs. We will have a team member again standing on that side to be able to usher you. So it's one representative. Please come on this side, shake His Excellency's hand, take your photo opportunity, and make your way down that way.
And of course, straight after we are done with the final pledges for this year, we will then ask His Excellency President Ramaphosa to then walk straight onto stage to give his final remarks. And that will, of course, mark kind of the end of this part of session. And then upstairs, level 5 is where the dinner will be. I'm still hoping to get you there, not far off or not too much after 7 o'clock to start eating so that, we can start having a good dinner at the right time.
Fantastic. I think we're good to go. So at this stage, please, could we give a round of applause as His Excellency, our President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, makes his way to stage.
Yes, please keep it going. Please keep it going.
We're just going to do the last round of pledges first and then your speech. So if you could please stand here for us, and then we're going to do the photos, the same as upstairs, and then we'll...
All right. We're going to start with yes, you may have your seats. Take your seats, please. We're going to start with the business process outsourcing, ICT, and digital services. President, you may not have heard all those instructions. All the CEO and heads of those companies will come through from our side. They'll walk over to you, they'll shake your hand, the cameraman is ready with his shot, and they'll make all their way out there. So we came up with a real system. Well, she came up with a real system that works.
As I curtsy.
Right. Kicking off with the BPO industry, business process outsourcing, ICT, and digital services. The digital economy that we just heard from in our last panel is becoming a larger part of the global economy, and South Africa is leading the way on the African continent. The following 9 investment pledges highlight this growth. First up, Equinix from the United States of America. They are investing a whopping 3.8 billion rands in developing new data centers in South Africa. Right behind Equinox, we've got Terraco. They are making their 4th announcement this year, investing a further 2 billion rand in expanding their data center capacity and developing renewable energy projects to supply their data centers in Gauteng, KZN, and the Western Cape. Moving on to the United Kingdom, we've got Cassava Technologies. They are investing 4.5 billion rands in adding 20 megawatts to their data center in the Western Cape and Gauteng.
Also from the UK, we have Asenos is investing 80 million rand in a call center in the Western Cape. Unfortunately, they don't have a representative here today, but we'd like to acknowledge them. From the USA, we've got Move in Fintech Startup is investing 284 million rands in connecting mobility entrepreneurs to ride-hailing, e-logistics, and instant delivery marketplaces. We also have SA Taxi, who's investing 500 million to provide financing to underserved and developing SMMEs.
Well done. Well done, SA Taxi. Next up is Rain. They are investing 4 billion rands in further rollout of 5G infrastructure across South Africa. Following them is Telkom, also making their 4th announcement by investing 5.97 billion rand in ICT infrastructure development across South Africa.
That's good.
And topping their original 50 billion rand pledge at the inaugural 2018 SA Investment Conference, Vodacom is committed to invest 60 billion rands in ICT infrastructure over the next 5 years.
Thank you, Shamil.
And the way Shamil walks is like a 60 billion walk. He's got that, right?
We will now move on to the manufacturing sector. South Africa is a leading location on the African continent for manufacturing, with a diverse set of expertise highlighted by the following 14, Andis.
Yep.
14 investments in an array of manufacturing businesses. Let's kick it off. Alpla from Austria is investing 2 billion rands in recycling and packaging manufacturing facilities in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. And a glass packaging from Ireland is investing 1.9 billion in their glass production facility in Gauteng.
Yeah. Moving on to Impact, who unfortunately couldn't be here in person. They are investing 2.5 billion rand across their paper and plastic production facilities in a number of provinces across South Africa. Yeah. Nature Cell, which is a company from Denmark, they're also investing 133 million rand in the manufacturing of environmentally sustainable building insulation from recycled waste in Gauteng. Yeah, he's not from Denmark, just in case you are wondering. Then, of course, in plastics, Pavati Plastic, also a black industrialist, is investing 125 million rand in expanding their facility to produce specialized recyclable packaging material in Gauteng. Round of applause. Yes, ma'am.
D5 from Turkey is pledging for the third time by investing 288 million rands in their white goods manufacturing facilities in KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah.
Matinda Utilities, a black industrialist, is investing 600 million rands in hardware manufacturing for the electronics industry in Gauteng.
Well done, sir. 600, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big.
You may proceed.
Take your time.
Siyabonga.
No stress, no rush. I know he's the president, I know.
MTech from South Korea is investing 70 million rands in electric cable manufacturing in Gauteng.
Here we go. And then we move on to 555 Trucking Solutions. They're investing 118 million rand in the production of cabling for the renewable energy industry. Well done, sir. Actom is also investing another 100 million rand in expanding capacity for products for the renewable energy sector. SGB Smith Power Matla, also a black industrialist, is investing 500 million rand, that's 500 million, in rebuilding their transformer factory in Gauteng.
You just have to make sure, right?
Had to.
500 million.
Thank you, sir.
Mushalifi Engineering, another black industrialist, is investing 120 billion rands to produce safety equipment for the mining industry at their facility in Gauteng.
Well done, Mushalifi. Mushalifi.
Mushalifi,
Which means
the clever one.
the clever one.
Mushalifi.
And you tell yourself you are clever. You, I'm clever. Like that.
No, I'm just Nomatamsanga fortunate. The Prism Group, a black industrialist, is investing 93 million rands in automotive component manufacturing.
Well done, Prism.
BMW from Germany is investing 4.2 billion rands, yes, in plant expansion for the manufacturing of new BMW models.
Well done, BMW. Does this mean we get a discount? No.
I just feel like you always get me in trouble.
Thank you, Mr. BMW. How beautiful. What a car. We're going to move on. First it was the beer, now it's the car. We're going to move on to the special economic zones. I remember when special economic zones were like launched. And there was such a big deal that government is setting up these things and they're going to stimulate, especially entrepreneurs. And just reading today's list, it might be actually the longest category we've got today, President. Yep. So, to support greater spatial development and to take advantage of the wide array of unique geographic advantages across South Africa, government introduced a number of SEZs, which are special economic zones. The following 16 investments highlight the diverse range of investment opportunities that happen in an SEZ. 3, black industrialist companies are investing in the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone in KwaZulu-Natal. Number 1, Alu South is investing 373 million rand in an aluminium rod plant.
It's okay, Angela. It's okay.
Well done, Alu South. Following Alu South, also done in KZN in Richards Bay, Bote Industries is investing 220 million rands in the production of rubber hoses. Now there's a thing, rubber hoses. Thank you, sir. Well done. Congratulations, Bote. And also in the same SEZ in Richards Bay, Southeast Bulk Operations is investing 452 million rands in a logistics hub. Hello, sir.
Now, 4 companies are investing in the Kucha Industrial Development Zone in the Eastern Cape. We'll start off with Kucha Steels is investing 160 million rands in an automated rowing mill. Unfortunately, they're not here today, so we'll move on. The Newland Group is investing 4 billion rands in a manganese storage and handling facility.
Well done. 4 billion.
Kili Energy is investing 500 million rands in the production of smart LPG cylinders. The final in the Eastern Cape category is unfortunately also not here. They don't have a representative, but I'd like to acknowledge them as well. The MEC Commercial Trailers from Tanzania is investing 340 million rands in the assembly of heavy-duty trailers.
Wow. And moving down to the Western Cape at the Atlantis Special Economic Zone, Iconic Gases is investing 20 million rand in an acetylene production facility. Also not able to join us today from the Western Cape is Modular Electric Assemblies, also investing around 7.5 million rand in the assembly of electrical components. Let's give them a round of applause.
We have 3 companies who are investing in Dube Tradeport in KwaZulu-Natal. Future Life is investing 75 million rands in setting up a world-class Future Life food manufacturing factory. Unfortunately, they weren't able to join us, but please, let's give them a round of applause. We then have Siaka Flexibles and Labels is investing 100 million rands in the production of flexible packaging for the FMCG sector.
Well done.
the final one in this sector, we have YOA Holdings, who is investing 155 million rands in the expansion of their fiber optic manufacturing facility.
Yeah. That wraps up the Dubai Trade Port SEZ in KZN, doesn't it? Thank you, YOA. Moving on to Tshwane, you know their SEZ focuses only on the automotive sector. Schnelliker Logistics is investing 89 million rand, this is very interesting, in the production of exhaust systems for Ford. A round of applause. They're not with us now.
They're not here today? Okay, fantastic. For the first time, we also have announcements in the Bojanala Platinum SEZ in Northwest. So please, if they are here, please make your way to stage. Shosholoza Cements is investing 493 million rands in a compact cement grinding plant.
That's a nice name, Shosholoza.
Don't start singing.
Okay. Moving on to the Dubatse SEZ, let's please recognize Showdawn Casting Africa, who is investing 40 million rands in a foundry for steel castings. Thank you, Sean.
And finally, in the Vaal SEZ, we have Mitochondria Energy is investing 4.3 billion rands to produce solid oxide fuel cells, a first for South Africa.
Old friends. You can't hide old friendships, you know. They just, yeah.
They're just friendly people.
Absolutely.
If you know anything about me, I love to speak with my hands, so I had to put the tablet down for this one. So this is a final pledge for today. But we really also want to thank them for the work that they have done today. So please, a round of applause for IDC as they make their way to stage. 11 billion rand that they will be facilitating.
Welcome, sir.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much to the IDC. Another round of applause for all the work they've done for us this week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our pledges for this year. This is the consolidation of the past 5 years, of course. Now we've added today's numbers. And soon, we're going to be wrapping up the day now with His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa. Just to give the final words, he's also going to mark our scorecard, tell us exactly how much the numbers came up to today. And also, I'm pretty sure he's going to reiterate his target. We've got a lot of work to do. I'm still reeling from the 2 trillion rands that you mentioned earlier on. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Thank you, wonderful program directors. We thank you, and let's give them a round of applause because they've really done a good job. I have already done my protocols in the morning and will not go into them. And distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the 5th South African Investment Conference. Having now officially concluded the first phase of our National Investment Mobilization Drive, we can say this has really been a watershed conference, in that we have now reached, remember we had said 1.2 trillion, we've now hit 1.51 trillion in commitments. Meaning that we have overachieved and overshot our initial 1.2 trillion rand target by 26%, a whopping 301 billion rand. By so doing, we have honored the undertaking we made to the people of South Africa in 2018, that we would attract new investments that were much needed in our economy. We would attract all those investments from overseas and from our internal companies to support the growth of local businesses and create more jobs. When we set out on this very audacious and ambitious path 5 years ago, none of us could have foreseen that the world would have been struck by a deadly pandemic and that there would be turmoil in the world as well economically. Nor could any of us have imagined the lingering impact on investment, on businesses, on jobs, and on livelihoods, even years after the existential threat of pandemic that we faced. For us to have been able to meet our 5-year target despite the major challenges and disruptions is no mean feat. It is a stellar achievement. We should all be very proud of having achieved this, and I think we deserve to give ourselves a big round of applause for that. Now, today's commitments cover 21 district municipalities across our country. A number of these investments aren't only bringing much needed economic activities to those localities, they are also supporting our overall national development goals. Infrastructure development is one of the key areas of focus that drive economic growth, and as I've often said, is the flywheel that drives our country's economic growth. When we talk about investment in the cause of development, infrastructure is at the center of that. Infrastructure development meets pressing community needs and often leaves behind a legacy for future generations. By way of example, a few years ago, Sanral stood on this platform and announced at this investment conference their plans to build the Msikaba Bridge, the longest and highest cable-stayed suspension bridge in Africa. On a superficial level, this bridge connects peoples and the economies of the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal, but it is a far deeper story about integrated development. Iron ore for its construction is being mined in the Northern Cape, transported to KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng to be converted into steel blooms and plates fabricated in Mpumalanga and finally assembled in the Eastern Cape, where the bridge is being finalized and constructed. For each step in an infrastructure development value chain, jobs are created, small businesses and suppliers are supported, and skills are also impacted. over the 4-year period of our investment drive, we have realized approximately 263 billion rand in investment for infrastructure development. Not counted in this figure is the hundreds of billions of rands that are being spent on local and other public infrastructure by the 3 spheres of government. Through Infrastructure SA, we are hard at work driving the implementation of other key strategic infrastructure projects in water and sanitation. This includes bulk water projects, such as Phase 2 of the Lesotho Highlands water project, the Podi Hardy Dam, which I will be going to do sword turning with the Prime Minister of Lesotho soon, the Mzimvubu water project, the Umkomasi water project, the Mokolo Crocodile River water augmentation project, and many others. A number of other strategic infrastructure projects are either in preparation or under construction in energy, transport, digital infrastructure, agriculture, as well as human settlements. Today, there have been commitments from several companies and entities to invest in property development and logistics. Now, that is to be welcomed. Now, this includes luxury resorts and mixed-use developments, but also in social infrastructure projects like student accommodation, which is much needed in our country, as the number of students who are going to colleges and universities are growing by leaps and bounds, and we have to accommodate them as they come from far-flung areas, the rural areas, our townships, and they need to have spaces where they can learn properly. The South African National Roads Agency, SANRAL, is also investing 19.7 billion in the construction of various roads, bridges, and other critical transport infrastructure. Now, they also have to pay attention to the potholes that are currently littering our entire country. Now, that is the task that they are also going to undertake. And they are a good operator. They are able to build roads that are durable, and they play a key role in the infrastructure development of our country. In my opening remarks this morning, I said that by leveraging our strengths and unique value proposition, we will attract higher levels of investment. South Africa's unique value proposition is the diversity as well as the sophistication of our economy. Unlike many other countries whose national economies were founded in and remain reliant on the extractive sectors, we have a diverse economy, and the breadth of investments are indicative of these opportunities that exist. Today, we have seen investment commitments across a range of sectors. They include the 1 billion investment by Turkey's Menar Group in thermal coal mining in Mpumalanga. The Siriti Group's 4.5 billion investment in a wind energy project in Mpumalanga as well. US-based MOVE's 284 million investment in e-logistics. And we're breaking into new sectors of our economy. Hive's hydrogen's massive 105 billion investment in a green hydrogen production facility in Gocha in the Eastern Cape. Hive's investment in the Eastern Cape will see not only the construction of a green ammonia production plant, but the company also has plans to construct a seawater desalination plant capable of meeting approximately 50% of the water needs of the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. Now, this is phenomenal. This is something that we need to applaud, because breaking into an area like desalination, where we are surrounded by almost 4,700 kilometers of sea around our shores, our country, this is breaking new ground. It's going into areas we've never really gone into before. Bringing development and creating jobs is the true measurement of the success of these 5 conferences. Investors are keenly aware of the impediments to faster growth and development, but they also see the progress that we are making in fixing these problems. This morning I was quite candid about the challenges that our country faces, and I also did explain that we are in the process of fixing many of these challenges. This was well expressed by the panelists who contributed their thoughts and ideas during the course of this conference, particularly on how collaboration between government, business, and civil society, including workers, would be the best solution to many of our challenges. I do sincerely believe that as investors, you can see the capabilities of the people of this country, the resilience of our institutions, and our own determination to forge ahead with a structural reform path that will make us the continent's premier investment destination. It is only with your investment that we can bring about the equitable, sustainable development that can forever transform the fortunes of our great country. We need to see the achievement of our initial 5-year target as an opportunity to deepen our collaboration, to achieve even more ambitious targets in future. The success of this first phase must really be used as a springboard towards a recovered, restructured, and inclusive new economy. As government and the private sector, we have proven ourselves capable of moving forward together, of working in unison in pursuit of the common good. Even in difficult times, we've been able to do that. We did so exceptionally well during the pandemic. We have done so with this investment drive and now aim to replicate this collaboration as we address challenges with regards to energy, logistics, crime and corruption as well, which I referred to this morning. So I call on every one of us in this room to recommit ourselves to the common good that is South Africa's development. Now I want to thank the sponsors who sponsored us to be able to have this world-class investment conference. I thank them for their generosity, and these include the Industrial Development Corporation, Vodacom, Anglo-American, ARM, Exaro, Google, Tungela Resources, Huawei, Samsung, South African Breweries, Discovery, Transnet, and Coca-Cola. I also want to thank our partners, the IDC and Brand South Africa. Let us give them a good round of applause because they have enabled us to hold this conference. And I do want to thank the Minister of Trade and Industry and Competition, Ibrahim Patel, and the Ministerial Steering Committee, who have been working to ensure that this conference is a success. And I want to thank our investment envoys, Ms. Pumzile Langeni, Mr. Jaco Marie, Mr. Mcebisi Jonas, Mr. Trevor Manuel, Mr. Derek Hanekom, and Mr. Jeff Khadebe for their dedication to the task of promoting South Africa as an attractive and dependable investment destination. I thank them because I've been on a number of trips with them around the world. Whenever we have had state visits, they come along and they participate in the business fora, but they often even precede our visits because they go out and mobilize investments for our country, and much of what we have reaped today is also attributable to them. So thank you very much to the investment envoys. I also wish to thank my economic advisor, Ms. Trudy Makaya, who has been central to the effort to promote investment and grow the economy over the last years. I also want to thank the organizing committee that has a number of dedicated civil servants and all the government departments who participated in enabling this conference to be so successful, as well as agencies and entities that have contributed to making this conference so successful, including Invest SAT. Thanks also go to our partners in business, in labor, civil society for supporting this investment conference. The past 5 years have shown what we are indeed capable of as a nation. They've shown our resilience, our determination, our ability to make progress, even under the most difficult of circumstances. We currently are going through a number of challenges, but despite this, we are able to have a very successful conference where we've mobilized way above the target that we set 5 years ago. As we close this 5th South African Investment Conference, we look to the next 5 years with greater confidence and ambition. I now officially announce the countdown to the mobilization of 2 trillion rand over the next 5 years, or better still, over the next 1,825 days. That's the calculation. So I'd like to say thank you very much, and particularly many of you who have been coming to each investment conference. Some of you who were announcing your commitments here. One gentleman here who's investing in KZN, who announced 4 billion. He says at the first investment conference, we said we would invest 4 billion. And he said, President, we have invested that, and we want you to come and open the facility that we invested the 4 billion rand in. So many of your companies have been really gracing this investment conference and coming here, and I'd like to say keep coming, keep bringing those billions and investing in our economy. But thank you very much. This has been a truly successful conference. Thank you. See you next year.
Another round of applause for President Cyril Ramaphosa. "1,825 days. We even have the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. The clock is ticking, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for us to act. The message is very clear. All I have to say is thank you.